Yes.
Says it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost there. I have a little bar over here. Yeah,
Oh,
complete.
don't mess it up now.
Okay,
You're so close.
Yeah, I'm nervous about Thursday.
We're live on YouTube, everyone.
we're there. And now I go to this guy. And I share my screen.
Doing great.
You get my little prayer. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Roselli, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Yes. It is 6:20. We shall call the meeting to order. Introductions. Let's start on that side of the team.
Carol Brick, Human Services Director and Town Liaison to Youth Adult Council.
Diana Lorenzo, Newington Sector. Kathy Gonzalez, Town Council.
Brett Mannion, Newton Human Services.
Kayla Hendrickson, Newington Human Services.
Deanna Rini, Karma's Closet and Chairperson.
Jasper Weaver,
Board of Education.
Sarah Reardon, Lucy Robbins Wells Library, Teen Librarian.
Jamie Harris, Assistant Principal of the Stoddard House at Newington Public High School.
Olivia Harris, student at Newington Public High School.
Melanie Enfield, Pastor at Church of Christ Congregation.
We did that really well. Roselli, who are you?
I'm Roselli Trister, and I am a parent. I guess whatever my title is.
You are
Exactly right. All right, can I get an approval of the minutes?
motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, there they
Aye.
go.
You're good.
Good. Any opposed? We have approved the minutes. We are now up to review our Youth Adult Council goals with the Charter, Local Prevention Council, Youth Service Bureau Advisory Board.
So we have, that's the PowerPoint. I wanted to take a few minutes to present this because I don't think everybody has the full history of what our Youth Adult Council serves as for the town. So we'll get into that. So the Youth Adult Council meets the needs of 3 different requirements from 3 different entities. So it's required by the town of Newington Charter. And the town budget supports staffing and facilities, but not programming. It is required by DCF as part of the requirements for us to receive our Youth Service Bureau grants. Then we get a basic grant of $21,077 that goes towards partial staffing of human services staff, and the town matches that with payment of the, some of the rest of their salaries.
Wow, just for having this.
Well, it's in combination, so it's the Human Services Department and the Youth Service Bureau get this funding, but as part of getting that funding, we have to have an advisory board. So that's the piece. And then we also get from DCF enhancement monies, which goes to programs, which again is not part of the town budget, and that's another $22,000. And then we get the third purpose that it serves is Amplify, which gives us a local prevention council grant, supplies us with $5,662.90 with a focus on substance use awareness and prevention. So having this board is part of the requirement for that grant as well. So again, it's a 3-fold purpose that we're meeting. I'm not going to get into all the detail on these, but you have this in the PowerPoint, and we'll send it out to you. So this is an excerpt from the charter, but I did highlight in orange. So the key roles, according to the charter, is input from the youth and commission members on program ideas and identifying gaps in services. Identifying potential private and public youth agencies as potential resources. Everybody that comes to the table has a wealth of knowledge and brings that to the table. Promoting volunteers to support youth programs, again, through our youth member connection, we kind of build up that volunteer resource. And then connecting youth and adults through conversation at the monthly meetings. And then there's the formula, and I'll get into that on another slide. And then our Youth Service Bureau grant, again. Sorry.
No, it was me. No, you were fine. I was right there with you and then.
So again, same purpose, that it's a provision, it's let's see. The advisory board would be statutorily responsible for, and again, it's got to have a certain combination of representatives, and the conversation is around identifying youth needs in the community and coordinating all of that. And then, yeah.
Ooh.
So you can make the right income. And you.
Oh my goodness.
So again, this is the representative of the grant we get from from Amplify, which is funded by DEMIS and SAMHSA, and we get $5,662.50 from them. Their requirement, they have the broadest requirement of different sectors of the community for membership. So we combine that with all of our 3 members, and the next chart kind of explores that a little bit. So you'll see in the dark orange, that's the requirements by the town charter. So we're required to have a human services representative, a parent representative, a school representative. Yay, Jamie. A minimum of 2 youth. We have more, also yay. And 5 service consumers interested in youth services. So very generalized there. Those are the voting members, 15. And then we have a school board liaison for 2, sometimes represented by both parties. 2 town council liaisons. Again, the NV is non-voting. A town liaison, which is my position. The library liaison, and actually I forgot Park and Rec liaison. I forgot because we don't have that really. And then the Youth Service Bureau, again, you'll see they have, you know, an overlap on the town charter requirements. And then the middle column, which is our local prevention guidelines, that's where we have to have that broad area, you know, covering all the sectors. So, and I've indicated everybody's role in that. So right now we have a full slate with Kayla and Brett and Diana covering our youth service organization requirement, Kim covering our law enforcement requirement, Jamie covering our schools requirement, Darius, Shelley, Liv, and M covering our youth requirement, Christina Redmond covering our substance use organization requirement, Roselli covering service consumer / parent, Deanna covering business, Steve Parker covering media, Melanie covering religious / houses of worship, Jules covering healthcare, Jessica and Amy schools, Tim and Kathy, local government town council, myself, the town liaison, and Sarah now newly reached out to be our library liaison. Okay, so this kind of is a summary that strategic prevention work uses, and without you all consciously maybe realizing that, it's the tool that we use as we're deciding what projects we're going to take on with the Youth Adult Council. So the first being assessment. What are the needs we're seeing? You know, what's the trending issue? This year we had the kratom identified, so we assessed that as a need. Capacity, building up resources, recruiting people in to help us with the planning, the project, and then planning whatever we're going to do to address it. implementing and evaluating, and that's an ongoing cycle that we do every year. So we assess, we build capacity, hopefully, we plan, we implement, and we evaluate. So types of preventive activities, this is offered through, this is put out through DMIS and SAMHSA. So it can be dissemination of information, printed online, pamphlets, media. It can be prevention education, small groups, like the presentations that we did. Alternative activities, so substance-free social and recreational events, we give to the prom as part of our LPC grant that gets approved every year. Capacity building, community volunteering, reaching out to build this network, this local prevention council. And then environmental, establishing or reinforcing policy and compliance checks. And we just touched on that this year with our involvement with the Kratom and the cannabis use. And Kayla went out and researched some of the stores in town, and so that might be something that we might look at a step further. So we did the informational piece. Might we want to see how it's being enforced in stores in Newington? Oh, good, it doesn't show on yours.
It's like, oh, I don't know, that's bad.
So historical goals of LPC, again, that's the grant administered by Amplify, and they have had vaping for the last 5 years. So the goal was to reduce vaping use by 5%, and to increase public awareness of vaping and prevention. And we addressed that through targeting risk factors. So for example, the screening of screenagers, and then targeting protective factors. And then that comes through the positive youth development programs that we do with Brett. ALPS, all 5th graders get that program as part of their 5th grade. They explore decision-making, positive choices, etc. SCORE, a positive after school program where they're making a connection with older youth mentors and responsible adults. And Summer Youth Adventure, again, pushing that. We know that teens want to feel a risk, right? That's part of being a teen. We want to like push that window. So providing a controlled experience where you can feel that exhilaration and that push and that risk, but in a controlled and safe environment. He's instituted mentoring and leadership coalition, so amazing programs. He started the mentoring just with our juvenile review board referrals, and now is expanding that to referrals from the school for anybody that might benefit from that one-on-one coaching. And then Kayla, short-term youth and family counseling and/or referral and connection to private mental health and substance use disorder providers, and then serving as a connection to youth services by being present in the schools and collaborating with the schools. And those are just 2 factors of her piece. She does a whole nother that's kind of not as much youth related, kind of a general wellness focus, and the JRB. So sample activities that we have done to address these needs. We've done Narcan and QPR training. We did the movie screening through Youth Adult Council last year of screenagers. We did the cannabis and kratom presentation this year. And then this middle section addresses, again, reinforcing the positive youth development benefits to youth. So ALPS, prevention program to all 5th graders. And we use the funding from Amplify to support our facilitators that go into the school. So the school doesn't have to pay for that. We're able to collaborate with the health teachers and provide that service. Safe night after graduation. we've donated annually to that. And then Youth Leadership Coalition and conferences, we put some of the Amplify money into that this year. And that kind of leads us into the background of who we are and all the roles that we fill and what might be our goals for the upcoming fall. And I know that, you know, there was kind of a reconstruction. We had gotten vacancies and finally got all of those filled. We have a full slate, which is awesome. And I think we had a conversation at, well, maybe it was the last meeting, that if we identified some goals early on, then we could hit the ground running in the fall with putting those to work. So with that, turn it back to you to lead a discussion on goals for the fall.
Sure, well, I can start if you'd like. I would say one of the other things that we did was the sports swap, which I think is gonna be really amazing for the youth in this town, because a lot of the youth is involved in sports. And we all know how expensive all that equipment is. So I think we've all heard from people like, when are you doing the next one? And
That's awesome.
like, finally someone did this, like, they're so appreciative. So I think it's only gonna get bigger and better. So we're definitely gonna do another one in August. So I'll keep everybody posted for all that.
And I think the benefit of doing the same thing repeatedly
Yeah.
annually, we
Couple
used to
times a
have
year.
this like then people look
People know
forward
it's
to
coming.
it.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
And it was great. Kayla had a table out there, so it had a little bit of information, but maybe next, you know, in August, we can make that a little bit bigger, you know what I mean? I know my mom would love to come and
Yeah.
table for some things.
And like we
You know, we can use that event as, you know,
Prevention
more
awareness.
focus and presenting other things, yeah.
And from when we had planned screenagers last spring, we had quite a few community organizations there tabling. So certainly we could reach back out to them depending on how many folks we wanted to have and would be able to have those resources. So like Interval House was there, Inner Community, Al-Anon, Alateen. There were, I'm blanking on the rest of them, but we had, I think,
Yeah,
about
we have
10 or 12
You did,
folks.
you were a lot.
Yeah. So that'd be great. And I think we have the space for it. So
Absolutely.
Have you guys thought of a date yet, or we're just projecting
So, when I
August?
text you, but hold on one second, cause I
Yeah.
texted the three of us, so that I
But it
didn't.
was- I think it was
lose it.
August, like August 24th or something. like
Yeah,
that?
someone
Does that
told
sound-
us to do it,
right before school.
what did he say? What did I text you? It's like the week.
August 23rd, 24th.
Suggested we do the
Yeah.
fall swap August 23rd to 24th, which I
Yeah.
believe is the
Yeah.
weekend before.
starts the 25th. And it's
I should
before
know.
Labor Day.
So the 25th is that Monday, so
Yeah.
school probably
Nice.
starts later that week. It's probably like Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, they usually start
We
school,
usually,
right?
yeah.
I think we're
I
in.
approve.
And then
calendar's
Labor
for-
Day is September
Thursday.
1st, so it's the
Thursday.
weekend before.
It's
And
pretty
I have
good.
no problem posting it at Karma's if we wanted to utilize my new location.
Certainly.
Well, and that way I just like, I'll store
Yeah.
everything, and I mean, if you guys wanted to drop off too, but you can easily drop it
Yeah.
off at
Well,
Karma's and we
it's
just.
close now too, so yeah.
Well, and just that way we don't have to like wait for someone to open the, you know, it's
Right,
just,
yeah.
it'll be nice and easy, so if everybody's down for that, and if the weather's bad, we can do it in my basement, don't tell anybody else. Like the town,
On
just out there, in their building, whoever they.
I think if we reach out to the sports,
Yes.
you know, if we can find out who the president or whoever is, you know, running like the nights and some of the stuff
Yeah,
that's.
so Newington Little League, he is like our #1 cheerleader. And then I know I was already talking to Jamie,
Trevathan for soccer.
she
Yeah.
is the president of soccer,
I know
so.
the nights, I can.
Exactly, so
We
we,
can kind of tag team and, cause the parents just
Identify
need to know,
needs.
Right.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and they'll be happy, I think.
Maybe we
too.
can make a
Yeah.
flyer that says save the date, you know, maybe.
Yeah.
That would be
we could start
fantastic.
posting, save the date, you gotta, I'll do some stuff the next
Yeah.
couple.
I think
weeks
that's a good
to-
idea.
Especially as like summer
Just to
gets
get it out
out.
there,
it
yeah.
comes to- it comes-
Yeah. I can even, once we get, I don't like to make Facebook events too soon,
Yeah.
because then it's
It
not
gets
like
old.
fresh and
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
But, you know, once we get there, I'll make a Facebook event on
Yeah.
Karma's and share it out and all that, so.
Do you think are we keeping the same subcommittee on that? Do we need a special meeting in August for the council?
I would say because we're going into our off season, why don't, like, we're kind of already ready to go and we'll just keep everybody else in the loop for the date to help with hours and stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe once we get close to it, like, this might blow up, like,
Yeah.
pretty, you know what I'm saying? Like,
With any luck.
Well, everyone should
yeah,
be,
exactly. with
everyone
any
should be
luck.
back. Like,
So
ideally,
maybe when we plan for like the
Should be.
spring one, we can see
No.
what else we need to do. Like, maybe
Yeah.
there's something that we need to sell there to,
Right.
you know, help fundraise for ourselves and someone needs
But
to
you
man
have
that
to-
booth, or I don't know.
Yes, we can.
Maybe there's an issue that we need
There
to
Address.
address. Yeah, so why don't we keep it for now, just cause it's
Yeah,
weird in
that's-
August and summer and stuff, and we'll kind of just do the same thing we
Personally
just
love
did. Yeah, let's keep it.
How many, like, community providers would we be looking for? Cause I can certainly start reaching out to folks.
Community
The
providers.
tabling.
For information.
Oh.
Information.
Are you you're doing it at Karma's
We could
Plaza
do
in
that Conroe's in
August?
August, yeah.
So how much space is there for your stuff? The,
Well, if we wanna do the whole thing out in.
Outside.
There's
yeah,
more than
then
enough
that would be
for-
perfect. And if you needed extra tables, we can bring them from the.
Yeah, so like if we
Yeah.
do one side, like, if we, you know, if you're looking at my building, if we take up that whole side, like,
Mhm.
here's hoping,
Or
right?
swap, yeah.
We can like spread out,
Swap
and then we could have like
resources.
tables over here. You
We
know,
can
so
do
we
it
can
one
probably
day.
fit like 4 or 5.
Cause the other thing I can do too is, with
Yeah,
it
we
being
could
a
do a whole
weekend, we'll
weekend.
see how many folks I can get in person, and if not, I can get resources, so we could have the table set up with information, takeaways, things like that. and
And
can
I
kinda-
even think 4 or 5 use-specific
Yeah.
resources, you know, sometimes overload, right?
Yeah.
If we're also thinking about like younger, just what would be the most target oriented ones for like the little league sport, you know, like not high school age maybe, but. 'cause I
So
don't know.
resources specific to
To,
like elementary.
Yeah,
and up.
adolescent to tween.
But yeah, again, maybe we make this one kind of like what we just did, but whoever you wanna reach out to now, and then for the next one,
We make the spring one the
we
big
do
deal,
stuff, yeah,
do it early enough so we get it in time for spring sports.
exactly.
And maybe we can work on a donation, like for a raffle.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Totally.
and we can reach out to the sports stores because,
Yeah.
you know, they may donate some new stuff too, or out of season stuff.
Yeah.
or-
We can all kind of concentrate on that, see
Yeah.
what we got.
Yeah, exactly, totally.
I love begging.
But
I
I
love begging, but it's not for
we
me.
couldn't have like planned it better, like I love that it's youth adult council that's doing this
Mhm.
whole thing, you know, I
Yeah,
think it's really cool. So it's.
Just as a segue to that, the fundraising part of that typically goes to our scholarship. I did reach out to DCF this year, and we can use part of our Youth Service Bureau grant, $1,000 towards a scholarship. So if we earn, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 and we get another 1,000 from that, we can give something that really will impact a
Oh, that's
youth
great.
with a
Oh, really
scholarship.
cool, great, really cool. And honestly, with the more stuff that we collect, you guys, don't forget, we made what, over $200 with the stuff that was just
Yeah.
left over from the swap.
Yeah.
I brought it to play it against sports.
Oh,
and
nice.
put it in. So,
That was smart.
I was gonna say, some
even just the
some people
more
just
stuff
wanna,
that we
like,
get in,
donate, they don't
So-
wanna.
What kind of stuff what kind of stuff, when, what kind of
like
stuff?
cleats. So for, let's think, so we're doing fall, right? So it's gonna be soccer,
Football.
football, lacrosse is only spring, right, hon? Yeah.
I mean, it's
Do we do
year
field
round,
hockey?
everything's like year round these days.
Yeah.
I know, but do we really wanna like,
Well, I mean, I would take what we get, but the major focus should kind of be like, you know, the sports that are.
Yeah.
yeah, like obviously
Hockey.
football now, we didn't do football in the fall.
That's a huge one with.
I guess I was do hockey now, right? Cause we're not gonna do like a winter one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
And they
hockey or
start like-
basketball.
They
And
start
just
in like
anything.
August,
What about like
September.
gymnastics? Is that?
I mean, just do the leotards.
Yeah,
I don't know any like actual equipment.
Yeah.
Um,
And
although
the dance is just too much with all the
dance is
shoes
so
and stuff,
much.
so I feel like it's just like, balls,
Yeah.
sticks of things,
Yeah.
okay? Really, ladies? Bring me on the ball, okay?
Basketball, like.
We
start to
had
winter.
so many cleats, and now, you guys, I know the difference between football cleats and baseball cleats now.
That's impressive, because I don't.
Okay, well, okay, so they taught me, so soccer cleats,
Right.
wait, which one's more narrow because you have to kick the
Soccer,
ball,
yeah,
and then
soccer.
baseball cleats look more like a sneaker, because you're just running.
Yeah.
Just.
Things all the time.
Our
So-
kids.
But even like, people brought us like goalie shirts
Yeah.
for the kids, because
Yeah.
those were expensive for the goalies to wear, like stuff like that, so.
Are people encouraged to donate before the event, or is everyone bringing?
Yes. So we're probably, I wouldn't mind starting August first.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's summer and people are in and out and all over the place, so I would say we could start collecting August first. I have no problem collecting at Karma's again, you guys had a nice collection
We'll
here.
also be able to promote
You
with
could
all
check
my
with
programming.
Lisa, maybe we can do
Yeah.
something at the library,
The more
that
stuff
gets a
we
lot
have,
of.
But we'll get those flyers out that, like, we did this in what, like a week and a half?
It's crazy fast.
Yeah, so.
Very we're on it.
Yeah, so,
Very
yeah,
efficient.
we'll be on it.
Well, and also like, a lot of kids come back for like Hell Weeks and like South. Bend.
Yeah.
But you know, spring, the
Yeah.
summer training, the summer conditioning, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, what's the
Yeah.
more?
Well, that's why the guy.
I know,
He said,
I'm like,
"We should
yeah.
do the weekend." I said, doesn't like high school soccer start before that, but they,
But if they have siblings too, I'm sure.
and honestly, it's a little bit more, cause I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure once I got into high school, I used the same
Yeah.
cleats.
you're not
It
going
wasn't
out of step.
green, it wasn't.
You know,
professional. Yeah, I only had one lacrosse, I think I had 2 lacrosse sticks, I think I only cracked the cradle on one of them.
Mhm.
You know, so it's really those little kids that are growing
Growing
all
every
the time. Oh my God, the moms were like, I don't care if it's red, put it in your foot. Like, it,
Well, I think of like when Tim said, you know, I'm gonna buy these 2 sizes, cause I don't know which size is gonna be the right one that fits,
Right.
and I spent $5, so it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's $5, like they did. One mom bought her bat bath.
That was hysterical.
That was so funny.
She donated to Karma, she came by herself and donated and dropped off, and then she came the next day with her daughter sees the bat, goes, is that my bat? And she's like, maybe, and she goes, you know, I want that, and I need, the kid was what, like 7? So
Yeah.
she knew, like, she was like, I need, that's my bat. Mom goes, I'll pay you for it, we're like, all right. Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, but the bike was a huge hit. That was
Oh,
awesome. We
that's
made like
great.
250
I
bucks
did
off that bike.
Great.
So that was excellent. So if we do a fun raffle prize, I think something fun like that would be cool.
What was like the total, like,
I think we did $500.
Yeah, I think it was
the
just
raffle
over 500.
and between the raffle, what we actually sold, and then was it like 212 or 180?
For the day. No, it was close to.
No,
200.
It was a little over 2, right?
Yeah.
It all added up to about $500 bucks.
Yeah.
Just over 500, I think we did.
Okay.
no, I just didn't know if that included also what you sold. Actually.
The whole,
Okay.
yeah, the whole thing was 500.
That's awesome.
Which for the amount of planning we did. and
Right, I
how
was like-
quickly we got everything, like, I've already told the moms in my book clubs, I'm like, hi,
Yeah.
we're doing a sports sale, so all the bags I know are sitting on your porches, like, I will be doing a round to
Yeah.
come get them all,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And they were really appreciative, cause they're like, it's ready to go, I just haven't had the time.
And there's no investment for us. It's not like we have to buy anything.
No.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
people
Like,
would donate them, but like they
Mhm.
don't wanna.
They don't know where to.
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah, they're like, do I give it to Goodwill? I'd rather not like have someone then
you
try
know
and
what was
buy
really
it.
good? You know what I think made us the most money, because we didn't sell them, but the place took them when we went to resell stuff. Those softball helmets.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think we had about 4 or 5 softball helmets that I think we sold like 2, so we had like 3 of them. I think we got like $15 for each of those or something. That was good. But definitely those cleats were,
That's great.
that was everything. And that's what people I think are majority looking for from us, are the, you know, the
Things
cleats
that
can
you
be
grow out of.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other fundraiser, we did was also easy, and that was through Raise Right. 3 years ago, we set it up through Youth Adult Council. So when Human Services buys our $15,000 worth of gift cards for our holiday gift
Oh,
program, we get back, we've identified Youth Adult Council as our beneficiary, we get back We got probably about $800 this past year.
Awesome,
Great.
very good.
How much on the scholarships this year, did you decide yet?
Yeah, we'll see what we get. in
Hey, what,
money,
so we did go at Mo's. Mo's got us
Mhm. Do we know what
like
the total was on those?
$500 or something crazy? What do we get from Booyah? That's what I was wondering.
I feel like that wasn't a lot because you have to say,
Well, does Roselli have a figure in that?
Roselli, do you know how much we got from Booyah? If you're.
No, I was on my list to ask you guys for Muya's because I never heard back on that. So no, I don't think it was a lot just because I think you have to enter the code and it makes it so much difficult. So I
Just so you know,
think
Contacted us on
when I
that.
went and bought that night, I gave the guy the flyer, he goes, I don't need this, and I go, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I don't need that for anything, and I
Huh.
took it back. So that's where
Interesting.
I was really curious, yeah.
And Roselli, was it your understanding that they were going to contact Human Services with the? 'Cause we
they were supposed to send you guys a check directly because I filled out all the information that they were asking for. So if you guys haven't heard of anything, then I will go ahead and reach out and
Don't do that yet, because
Yeah.
there's sometimes when the secretary will get it in and think it's a general donation and doesn't, if it wasn't identified as youth adult council. So let me check first and then I'll let you know.
perfect. And then I did have a comment regarding the sports equipment. The one suggestion I have is probably do it the week before in August, the 24th, just because a lot of teams are in town will already start that season that weekend. So you kind of want to have kids to be prepared and have their things prior.
You're thinking the 16th and 17th would be better?
Yes, because I know with the soccer club, we start that weekend of the 24th. We're already starting like with travel.
Good
Yeah.
to know. Yeah, okay, cool, so we'll plan more for the 16th and 17th then. Okay, cool.
I think we'll still be fine with the August start of collecting too.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And so if you guys wanna say Saturday is like the big day, like where we're all there or something, and then I'm just like putting out whatever's left on Sunday, because that's what I did this
And I'll
time
be
and it
available,
was
I can help
fine,
out too.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Do you want me to look for there for whenever?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that was
Awesome, but yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, and we should try to like, a few of us should try to go that night, like, is
Oh,
there
yeah.
any way that we can try to like?
And then can we do it on a youth adult council night?
Yeah.
Have our meeting there?
I mean, it is a Wednesday, isn't it usually, is it usually Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think most days.
We can have a
Okay.
special
But we
meeting.
can do special, right? And
Yes.
just- so
Oh,
Let's
maybe.
take what they give us.
Well, I'm just saying, I walked in at Mo's, like when, you know, someone's doing a raffle or something and you feel like, oh, like,
Oh, because
like it
people
makes
are
you feel
there.
good about
going,
these
like,
Mo's and
yeah.
giving out work. Like, I help the youth adult council, like, they helped and they don't even know, you know?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
we do
Mo's
Mo's again
was the
too?
first one, and then, yeah.
Easy one to do.
Mo's was first, and we get the money, whether they tell you or not, you just get 15%
And it was
of their day.
In person.
Yeah, we got like $500 for it.
And DoorDash.
Honestly,
All
any
of them.
restaurant.
All of it.
Oh.
Booyah, they were like, you're gonna have to tell us.
unless you have to put the code.
Looking to have us market it.
Right, but if you're out like.
$500 So that Mo's, I mean, it'd be a really good.
you just do the day too.
To help us.
Yeah.
Exactly, Porno and Mo's do it that way, yeah, that's why we're like. let's
Right,
just
that like going around and
those.
asking and talking about youth adult council, so that could be a really good action.
A lot of
item
some
to
of the
do.
smaller
Bring-
stores will do it too.
I was gonna say, I'm sure if we wanna do something at Goldberger's, he would do something.
Oh, yeah, you would, yeah.
They would totally do something, so if we wanna do
They're
that.
amazing.
Like fundraisers at.
Yeah.
I mean, you could ask BFF that out there.
Yeah. People walk in and like everyone in the office. You just made $100 right here. off this one order.
That's a great, I think that's great. I was trying to couple words, you
Yeah,
know,
thank
kind
you.
of reach out. to
Even if we
them.
kind of partner up or something, like,
My leader,
you know,
well, my leadership kids, I'm meeting with them when school starts, so
They'll be looking.
they'll
for
be able,
service,
they'll
right?
be able to help with the
Yeah.
fundraiser and stuff like that, but
Okay.
probably not the sports
And I
swap. I'll
know,
let them know about the sports swap.
Brett and I are meeting with Toby on Monday, and one of the things that he had talked about was like, if we have events where we need bodies and hands to help us, that he had the, like, youth who were interested, willing and able to
Yeah.
help out too, so.
Cause I gotta tell you, these wellness Wednesdays and all these group things that you guys do, we need to market that a
Yeah.
lot. more
Yeah.
out there. People have no idea.
That is our, one of our goals, so, but
You
thank
know.
you, yes.
Well, I just mean like with all these things that we do,
That's
you know,
the
we
thing.
go out to Porto and we hand out flyers saying
Yeah.
this is what is going on, like.
Mhm.
These are.
And that would be
things for
great, cause I know
people.
one of the things that like, we had talked about was, now that I'm actually here for summer, getting everything kind of outlined for next year, so it's ready to go, that way we're a little bit ahead, so come August, we'll have September ready
Yeah,
to
we
go,
do,
and we
like,
can have that
yeah,
sharing, and
in
at
December,
September,
and
then
then-
we'll share October, so we're like,
Like something else just popped up, the silly little things, like, the trick or treat stroll. Like maybe
Having a table there.
human services or youth adult council needs to have a table out there handing out candy. And just show, like, people do notice
A little paper
you,
with events.
they
or
notice
something.
at the trick or treat stroll, they notice the businesses that are open, they notice the businesses that are closed.
Yes.
And they notice the people who came out and made an extra effort and just have a table, hanging out. Yeah, so trick or treat stroll. could be really
Yes,
cool.
7:30.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah, we take care of each other. I did a little startle a few minutes ago.
okay.
And it's literally the funnest like hour and a half of downtown if you've never seen,
No,
it's
it's
like
so
a
cute.
parade of little kids, it's over 1,000 kids, it's awesome.
they're so cute.
I love
I dressed as a banana last year, and I will dress up every year from now on. The kids were like, the banana, they'd run over to me and take pictures, I'm like, I wanna take pictures with you, it's so cute, it's so cute. So, yeah, I was a handmaid the year before, so this was drastically different, no one knew, they thought I was Little Red Riding Hood, so.
The youth
I
adult
wouldn't know.
council banana.
Mascot.
My mom always called me Deanna Banana.
There
There we go. Too much.
That
so-
might stick.
Now the town knows.
Oh, God. What the-
For posterity. Deanna.
All right, so any other goals we wanna talk about before I
So-
switch back?
Besides
Sounds
fundraising, I
great.
think presentation stuff, that's like, is there a focus yet that people are seeing in the schools with the youth? In the library, you know, are there new trends that we're seeing that we wanna address?
I'm seeing a lot of the same trends,
Which are?
vaping.
Maybe still, yeah.
You can look at, you know, pro-social conflict management, that'd be another really valuable.
And not like, this is very like hyper specific and it's not necessarily us, but like AI in general and just social media changes.
That might be
That's a good
something
one.
we could do.
That's
for
like,
this
in
Wednesday.
In general, how we're.
Generic population.
That could go down a rabbit hole too.
I was gonna say, you know what's scary about that
Yeah.
is like
deep
we
fakes
don't
and stuff
even
like
know
that.
about it,
Yeah.
like,
I don't even know how to use it.
So ChatGPT and just type whatever you want.
yeah.
Tried it, couldn't figure it
Yeah, see, she's like, I love AI and I'm like, oh my God.
I said, I was like, if I was a student, it's very scary.
Yeah.
How I would wanna use it for everything.
But like I think there's also like a lot of dangers to like deep fakes, that kind of thing. I think that could go along with, what is this? It's like you're putting someone's face on a
Oh,
moving
yeah.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the,
but we-
like that
can
public
get
doesn't
very-
know these things.
And that like Taylor Swift was a big
Oh,
lawsuit
yes,
with that and stuff, but like that happens at the local level, you know,
Right.
to get someone sent a picture.
People are getting scammed.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Because they do, they look very real.
Right.
I
And, like,
just
you can
watched this
ruin
whole thing. This woman got scammed out of over $100,000. She thought she was in a relationship with Matt Rife,
Oh my God.
the comedian. And
We have.
you know, the big thing, if you guys ever watched Catfish is, well, you didn't video chat? How did you not? Right?
Yeah, now they
Well,
do.
now you can, and it looks like
And
them.
it sounds like.
Yes.
It's.
They showed her a video of, because it was actually a video of him, but they changed what he was saying. So he was saying like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go to Chicago. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. And you're like, that was exactly like,
Yeah. But I know like girls that have specifically had issues with, not here, but like just in general.
In general.
That are like, yeah, like deep fakes were made of me. That's,
oh my God, yeah.
yeah, right?
Like listen to too many podcasts. I heard all.
Way too much.
Great for tattoos, though,
Right.
I'm saying. Great for tattoo building,
Okay,
ChatGPT.
so we're gonna figure out AI.
I could've put some AI, it was great.
Safety. I think
That's like
super white, if I'm not mistaken, he had presented at one of our. I was gonna show you the picture.
It's more social media and social media and AI, but maybe he's updated.
But I think it's like, in terms of finding a place to start,
Yeah.
I could certainly reach out to him and see.
Anybody
It
else?
definitely
Like,
overlaps,
you guys
yeah,
know, like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any resources?
I might, especially cause like we have like the state made an AI policy, like
Oh.
OPM has one and stuff, and I know the guy who makes them. Who like is an expert on like how to make, and we're actually, like my entire job is right now engaging companies on AI. And like what they're doing, so I could find some people.
State policy.
It's through OPM, I can share it with anyone, it's,
Yeah, that would
but,
be great.
yeah,
I was at
yeah.
a meeting and one of the people couldn't stay on the meeting because they were
Yeah.
doing the minutes through AI.
Well, we had like students interview for our internship and they were like using
That's what the
AI
chamber
and like
uses now.
interviewing.
For their minutes.
From AI.
Yeah.
The chamber does it. You
Like
have to
Zoom
meetings,
has like OtterBox, it's like on
you
there.
record
and
it
they record
and then
it.
it.
You can do it live too, like live transfer.
I don't think it's on there as an option now.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
I mean, theoretically, you're using AI every time you use a GPS on your phone.
Yep.
You're using
Well, it's
AI.
generative AI.
Correct, but you're using all kinds of
Yeah.
AI all the time.
Yeah,
You
they've
know, when
changed
it's
us
doing
over.
predictive text for you, AI,
Yeah.
all of that is. artificial.
When you Google, it's
But getting,
AI
like,
now.
Knowing that
Uh-huh.
differentiation, yeah, Google and all these things, but the generative AI is a little different, especially because it's based on like what you upload, so.
But even just getting
Like the
people, to-
social media aspect is scary.
but getting people to understand the
The
difference.
difference,
too.
oh, yeah.
Well, and one of the
Make
things
sure
that
they
came up
thank
in
you.
one of our
Yeah.
meetings was.
Well, see, then this is.
Like, know your-
this is interesting,
kind of
just our
create this
group,
like
so.
AI bubble, right?
Right.
Is like the way that the algorithms work is that if you follow certain things or you like certain things, then what you're seeing isn't even
Or you
real at all
say
at that
in
point.
your office.
Right.
You don't know,
Sometimes when I need to find
news
good
reports.
referrals for things I say it a lot and then my phone will give me some.
Oh, there you go.
My mom.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, I was just like, new phone. New phone.
Did you ever get
Did
it?
work?
You have to say for live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mom got a new phone.
Yeah, there you go. And I can send you our, I have to go to policy downstairs, and we wrote a AI policy for our schools too, so we can.
Oh, nice,
kinda do it.
yeah.
It's very like it's baseline length,
That's fine.
Do you use AI to write your
We'll find
essays?
it.
pretty much, yeah. So.
Our English department, appreciate it.
They have ran the history department.
That gives us a couple of things to
Yeah.
kind of think
Good.
about.
I'm downstairs.
Have fun.
Thanks, guys.
I need you. So conflict resolution, AI, vaping, anything else? Okay,
Books on fire.
Don't stick stuff where they're not supposed to go.
How not to be addicted to TikTok.
Like paper clips.
Does that
in
kind
your
of go with
phone.
AI?
General social media too.
Yeah.
Force an
Social media
outlet,
safety.
not a good idea.
All right, are we good with that then? Productive meeting, supper, yum. Thank you.
and yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Next. Any other reports?
You want to report on? Got Summer youth adventure coming up.
Yeah, so summer youth adventures coming up. We have quite a few days that we're looking to fill up. It's a program with upcoming 5th graders through 9th graders, and then upcoming 9th graders, and then 10th through 12th grade can all mentor. So we have some days that we definitely need to get filled, but we're doing pretty good. I saw today a couple came in late as usual, but it was nice to see that came in and that there were people that signed up. So of course we're accepting them, and I did send a message out to a lot of other families saying, we still have openings. So they said they're gonna reach out to their friends, so hopefully we get a little bit more attendance.
So just for, I don't know if everybody knows what this is, it's free, correct?
No, it is
No,
not.
okay.
But I mean, the most, like, our most expensive day is $65,
So
and you're
it's
getting like
inexpensive.
7 hours of childcare.
Right.
And you're also paying for like that activity, it's Stores Adventure Park, it's expensive, so that's,
Comes out of it.
yeah, so it's really not, it's not bad, it's definitely more cost effective compared to like Park and Rec would be,
Right.
for instance, but. You know, I'm not trying to throw anything like that, but it's also open, like, you don't have to do a full week, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right, right.
Like,
You
like,
can
you can do a
day.
day here and there,
And I think also important to point out is that there's processing at the beginning of the day, what's our expectation, what's our goals for the day? And at the end of the day with the facilitators, you know, what went well, there's like that connection and, you know, did we learn something, you know,
Yeah.
how can we communicate? So
yeah, it's
more than just a field trip.
yeah, it's smaller, we really are like mentoring focused, I think which is great. We have like adult to the mentors mentoring, and then it's like mentors to the younger kids, so it's really building that connection.
I don't think a lot of people know that this is out there.
Yeah, I reach out to all the schools,
Goes out in
it goes out in the schools, the principals have newsletters. I have a 4th grade picnic coming up on Thursday, so I'll be bringing brochures for all the kids then. But yeah, I think, yeah, it's gonna be a
And
fun
it's
summer.
kind of a balance, right?
Yeah.
Because we want obviously more people to know about it, but at this point, we only have the capacity for so many more to also, so.
Yeah.
It's all a balance.
Yeah, but yeah, it's on its way of getting more enrollment, and I'm not too worried.
But one of the programs this summer will be another girls group that Kayla will be running. That's in August.
First week of August for rising 7th and 8th graders, so students going into 7th into 8th. And we've got a lot of guest speakers planned. We're gonna talk about volunteerism, so we do something with the senior center and some planting and gardening with the Giving Garden. We usually do some tie-dyeing. One of the Newington High School student alumni come back and speak to the girls about her experiences with bullying in middle school and how she found community through sports. And I have an author lined up who wrote a couple of children's books around different emotions. Actually, I met her at the Septil resource there.
Michelle?
And
Was it Michelle Clayton?
yeah.
Yeah.
So she's gonna come and we're gonna do some programming around that, with the girls. So looking forward to that. It was a pretty big hit last year. We made a lot of friendship
becomes,
bracelets.
A safe space
Yeah.
while you're doing those crafts. They're asking questions and they're, you know, it's kind
Yeah.
of like the conversations when you drive in the car with your youth. You know, they feel comfortable asking questions.
And I think this year we had talked about, there's a few high school gals that I'm mentoring right now that we're interested in potentially mentoring during this group. So we'll have an opportunity to do that as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
And then from the financial casework piece of what we do, we are just bracing for God knows what. We know Medicaid's going to be hit hard, SNAP is gonna be hit hard. Benefit amounts are gonna decrease, eligibility guidelines and populations that are served are gonna be decreased, so you know, our whole financial casework piece is going to be facing many challenges in the coming year. The energy assistance program totally going from the federal budget at this point. Looking to be picked up by the state. It's anticipated that it will be at least the first year, but then it may realize some drastic program cuts, so.
Okay. Well, let us know what you need. I also wanted to bring up the beautiful dinner that you guys had last week for the volunteers. Thank you for including myself, and congratulations on your award. And so if there's anything that we need to do for the backpack program, please reach out. The businesses would love to help, so let us know what you
So
need.
we'll reach out
We can
formally.
Put pickup boxes everywhere.
Yeah, I would say now we're what we need is high school size backpacks, the bigger
Okay.
ones, so.
So
But
if we
we'll
need to
reach
start
out
that in
formally, yeah.
August or something?
Yeah, I think Janine was working on the flyer for it
Okay.
yesterday or
It's
today.
really more July, isn't it? Don't they usually need it by the 1st of August?
Yeah, we start giving it out the end of the first week in August,
Oh,
so
wow,
we start recruiting. in July.
Okay, well, let us know, send it over to the chamber, she'll
Yeah.
include it in the newsletter.
Yeah, that's
We'll
awesome.
do, I'm sure the community room would do a collection, he always used to do collections for the
Yeah.
backpack program, so whatever you need, let us know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And just, one more thing, so, we have our two, Wellness Wednesdays coming up, our last two were for our summer break. So this week on Wednesday, we have Money Matters, planning today for tomorrow. A couple of our financial caseworkers, Janine and Pam, are taking the lead on that one with our guest speaker, Phyllis DeCara. And then
That will be helpful to all age populations.
So it's meant for all folks. And then next week we have Kelvin Young coming to the yurt over at the challenge course to do an outdoor sound healing session for folks.
That is so cool.
So because of that location, it's not listed on the program, but I send an email out for folks who register with a map and the parking directions and all of that the day of. So I just remind folks to make sure they register. The information's all there as well when they register, but yeah, so they're here available. If not, I'll post them up, so. Yep.
Melanie, any interfaith reporting or?
Back on.
Mhm.
Well, confirmation time soon. Yeah, ASP crew is heading up soon. Yeah,
Mhm.
not too much right now.
We like a lull sometimes. Jamie? You like the lull?
Final start
Music.
day after tomorrow. Talk to me.
You're gonna make it. We promise.
Yep. Almost there, almost there.
The library will be starting our teen and children's summer reading, I believe it's the 20th or the 22nd, it's whatever that Friday of that week is. So it should be a lot of fun, a lot of great reading programs for kids and teens to look forward to this summer and a lot of fun events in town, so it'll be a good time.
If you have flyers on that, you can send it to us and we'll include it with the
Perfect,
minutes.
absolutely.
I think I already spoke.
Thank you.
Nothing more. Summer.
Summer, yay. Kathy's everywhere. And,
No, there's nothing. I did wanna say our Got Lunch program is starting in about 2 weeks, it's that same weekend, which is for the kids that get free or reduced lunch during the year. They don't get it in the summer, and so we put bags of food together, groceries, for those families that register and deliver them to all the different families. So we do that for 10 weeks during the summer.
Now, we're starting our food bank redebts in July. Will that be, like, can we still refer folks at that point?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, they take them in, it takes, like a week to get on the schedule because they
Process,
have to redo the routes,
Mhm.
but, yes, yeah.
Do you need
Oh.
supplies for all of that? I feel like one year someone gave me a flyer and we did a
Yes.
collection and donated.
Yeah, no, that would be
Do
great.
you, okay, do you have a flyer or anything, or
We do, I can send it over to you.
send it over to me?
Yeah, no, that
I'd
would
love
be
to
great.
do that,
That
yeah.
would be great.
I feel like we collected cans
Peanut
of
butter,
tuna and
yeah.
peanut butter, yeah,
Peanut butter and
Tuna
tuna
salad, chicken salad, peanut butter
That's what it was.
jelly,
Yeah.
mayonnaise.
All the lunch stuff.
yes,
Yes, so that's basically.
yeah, you got it, we'd love to
Yeah.
help,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we also give fresh fruit and bread and, usually
Snacks.
snacks and some carrot sticks. We try to do the healthy stuff too.
Yes, of
But,
course.
but we buy that, but the other stuff we can.
Yeah, the
So,
the
yeah.
non-perishable items.
Got it. Very good.
Awesome.
Anything else? Any other business? Public comment?
I see none on the,
I moved to.
I will take Jamie's motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Oh, everyone. All in favor? Have a nice summer, everybody.
I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
We do have to-
Got it. You and Ian, yes.